Well, look at that. Nice little pond. It's kind of quiet. Hear the tree frogs. I waited almost too late. Kind of got dark out here. But yeah, I just wanted to get out of the house today. Got me a small chicken and broccoli and a fortune cookie. It's kind of funny. I don't believe in these fortunes, but it says your financial situation will improve significantly this month. I don't know. There was a park not too far from here, but they had several people there, so I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to kind of be by myself. But I wanted to get out of the house. Because, you know, nature, it's like, kind of like God talks to you when you're around the trees and the water, you know. So, getting old. And then, it's weird, Facebook, I was curious kind of what my wife's doing, so I looked at all her little friends, and, you know, now they're starting to not post as much. And I've looked on mine, and I put, you know, widower on my Facebook, and it, now I'm getting all these single apps, dating apps or whatever, and I'm like, I am not ready for that. It is crazy. It's amazing if you go long enough or been around long enough, you'll come back in circles. This little lake right here, they made some improvements. I think when we first come down here, I could be wrong, I don't think it had picnic tables. But now they got picnic tables and they got walking trails, and nobody's really enjoying it. There's only like, I don't know, maybe 6 people out here, but it is like 6:30 on a Saturday. But yeah, it's kind of nice. They got some people fishing and other stuff out there. I don't know what it is, turtles or fish, but you know, that AI intelligence is really crazy. And it said, improve your financial situation. I said, well, going from no money to $10 a week, that would be a significant improvement. Now, I'm all right, but, you know, it just kind of like, you know, a lot of things just seem like I'd always ask questions I knew the answer, or I wouldn't think through, and I'd ask questions already. But now, you know, I think about it, and it's just like I'm getting on to myself while I say it, and well, that's just stupid. So I don't know. I'm just aggravated or what. But I picked 2 churches to go to recently, and they both, you know, believe they're Christian. One of them, you know, believes in prayer and healing, and I've seen that through my wife. She had probably 5 more years than she should have had. But the other church said we don't believe in, they said that was outdated, or it was stuff they acknowledge because it's in the Bible, but they don't believe that happens today. And they don't believe in talking in tongues, which, you know, I know some people act the fool in church and they're not really talking in tongues. But the healing, I've seen it. I've seen it myself with my wife. You know, I pray and then I can feel it. So I believe in that. And, you know, I've been hit by a car when I was in high school, and so I believe in the healing. So them to say that's in the past, they're good people, but it just makes me feel like they're dead. It's a dead church. Plus, you know, they'll be preaching, you know, and I got, you know, can't hardly sleep anyway, so I had to have a lot of caffeine to stay awake during the day. But when they just blah, 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 you know, even if it's good words, then have a hard time catching what they're saying. You know, so I need something that's a little bit more aggressive. But you got a lot of people who don't really know what they're talking about. That's everywhere. That kind of ignorant. So you had to kind of watch yourself and just remember they're people, and you can't hold it against them, because you can switch out the whole church, it'd still be the building. You know, kind of like I was reading about the philosophers. The Greek philosophers would always say, you know, if you take a ship and replace everything on the ship, is it still the same ship or is it a new ship? And then the Romans would say, well, it's the same ship, you're going to pay taxes on it. I just heard an acorn drop, kind of spooky. But yeah, I ain't scared. But it's just nice to get out of the house. It's cool. It's almost like fall just happened. Let's see, I'd be coming home. I'd been home by now. I would have worked today. The second weekend I've been off after I lost my little job. So I've been looking at stuff. I put in for a school bus driver today. It'll only be like $17,000 a year. But you know, it had benefits. So I'm gonna keep applying. I got the CDL. I don't know if I should go back to school, but then my mind is willing. But then when I walk, I'm like, oh boy, I got some issues. You know, even eating healthier now, chicken and broccoli, I got some issues. And they had a thing on Facebook popped up, another thing called the widow and widower group. And then there's all kind of people, certain people spamming them, saying, oh, go here, go to this site and all that. And I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that craziness. But yeah, it's watching this water here. I don't know what that is. See if I can. Hey, what is that? That looks like a fish. That a fish? What is that? Turtle? Or something in the water. I don't think it's got alligators, but you never know. People get pets. There's something bobbing up there. What is it? Hey, what is that? I think it's little turtles. Yeah. Little turtles, so you try to fish right now. There's another one, I think. They're just swimming around, enjoying the water. At least I think that is. It's up and down, up and down. It's kind of cool. Watch that. It's kind of cool. I don't have a little, I don't know if you consider this a lake. I forget the definition. I don't have a lake in front of my house, so it's nice. Or turtles. It might be turtles. I got frogs, squirrels. I don't have to worry about too many people coming over there because I'm in the country. So it's kind of nice at the house, but I just wanted to be somewhere different. It's beautiful out here. Kind of looks like rain, but got a couple walking on the trail down there and somebody fishing over there. Yeah, it was good to move down here. It took me a long time to get my little place, but in the country, we were right there in the city or the suburbs. I don't know what you call it, but a lot of traffic, major intersection. But it was good for my wife. She had better medical care down here, and then my son had better care, and my daughter met her husband, and this is home. So you know, you don't know what's going on sometime when you go through it. It happens, and I'm ready, whatever happens. I just have no desire to, do anything. So I'm ready. I don't work myself to death, but I don't want to miss the grandbaby, so I know I need to be around. But you never know. It almost looks like fish, but you can almost see the silhouette of the turtle. Those things that are bobbing up. It's kind of cool. Over here wondering what I'm doing. I used to fish, but I ain't been in so long. Last time I went fishing, I don't remember how old my son was, but I went to one of these lakes around here, I think Strong Thurman, and my daughter and my son, and I put my son's fishing gear in the water, or at least my daughters and my son. Hadn't even got hardly mine baited and hooked yet. And I see the float going out of the water. You know, it's about 20 feet out. And I look at it and I was like, what in the world? And I look behind me, my son's up on top of the hill going toward the car. He was done. So, you know, my son always tells me, I said, hey, let's do something. I've been wanting to do something since I got laid off from a full-time job. Well, not this weekend job I just got laid off from, but he said, whatever you do, make sure you can do it on your own. Because they thought, you know, since I got some mobility issues, that, you know, if I come up with the business and the price and got the money, that I wasn't doing my fair share. It's crazy, you know, but he'll go work a job for $14 an hour, work his butt off, and they're making a whole lot more than he is, but because it's me, I ain't doing my fair share, because, you know, we're equals. So, can't really do anything like that. And what would I do? Because I needed some muscle, you know, but we'll see. There's always something to do. They got a thing on the internet where you can do taxes, or train at a tax academy. You can do that, and they got bookkeeping, you know, or just doing odds and ends. I don't know if I want to sit at the computer all day. I like the idea of driving, but I don't want to work 56 hours a week. You know, who knows? The chicken and broccoli is pretty good. I got a little because I had a bunch of them granola bars from the hiking trip me and my mom took. So I ate a bunch of them, and I didn't want to eat too much with eating all that. You know, just small. And I got my green tea. Hadn't even opened it yet. But what's so cool about these green teas from Sam's Club, you know, dark green tea, they fill that joker up. If you don't do it just right when you open them, you're going to lose probably an ounce. Spill it all over you. And every time I eat the chicken and broccoli, I try to drain it over the plate and over the dish, you know, because sometimes my son wants the sauce because it's got salt in it. So I try to drain it off, and I spill it on me every time. So I need to have like a Dexter apron to keep me from getting sauce all over me. That's pretty cool. And then Monday, I got a thing from the state saying, hey, your physical's about to expire, and since 2002 or 12, we send out notices to let you know, or you're going to be uncertified to drive. So I said, well, I might as well go get my physical. I do it first thing in the morning, and it's going to be $130, I think is what they said, but to do the physical, and it's good for a year. Unless I get my health down more, then I get every 2 years. But I'm ready for that, and since I did 70% of the hazmat, I'm going to add it in my license, and then you never know. Because if I can't walk around, maybe I can drive. So I talked to a disability guy. He wanted me to go get on medicine, like not narcotics, but like gabapentin or something like that. And he said, you got to prove you're hurting, you know, because I stumble around, but I don't think it's worth it because it makes it worse. But he said, think about it. You want to try to get a job? Call me back if you don't. And I said, I'm about 2 miles from your office because I couldn't get you on the phone. He said, don't worry, just handle everything on the phone. So we'll see. Probably ain't going to do that. I'm probably going to find a job doing something. You know, I don't need much. And even a poor person, they should pay a little bit. But it's kind of cool going to church, you know, even though it's lonely. It's you're surrounded by people, but you're by yourself. You're kind of like, it's kind of like when you first start going out after high school, you get a job, you got a little money, and so you want to get out of the house. But you can see them good now, the turtles. Yeah, I tried to catch the turtle, but by the time I turned it off and was going to do the screen the other way, the joker done dived on me. But the water's dark, so you can see them real good when you got up top. You know. But it's cool out here. See what other kind of animals I can see beside the turtles. People fishing. There's a thing down there. Now this camera picks up better than my eyes. I guess it's some kind of flotation device if somebody starts drowning. But it says red down there. But yeah, man. Just come to the park, grab a bite to eat, enjoy nature. It's kind of cool. Eating chicken and broccoli at the lake. Trying to catch they got lightning bugs out here. They got spiders and granddaddy mosquitoes. Mosquitoes tearing me up, so it's time to go. I gotta go home and edit the video. Yeah, I had a pretty good time. Then I seen a little spider on the table. Tried to smash him, couldn't kill him. And I don't think it was a spider, but it could have been. Might have been a mosquito, but something bit me on the back of my foot. Because I just had my shoes on, I didn't have socks on. So I got to leave, and then maybe it was divine, because I was walking my car and this guy on I couldn't really tell. He looked like an authority figure, but I thought he was like a park ranger or something. I didn't realize he was a police officer. So he said, "Hey," I said, "Hey," and I guess it was kind of short, but I wasn't expecting to talk to anybody. So I sat in my car and I watched him on the hill. I guess he just had to do some checks, and it's getting kind of close to where they tell you to leave the outdoor areas. So I seen him come back down. I got out of the car and I left the car running, and I talked to him a minute, and I said, "Hey man, I said, are you the forestry department?" And, he said, "No, I'm a public safety." And so we got to talking, and he knew about there. And he told me all these places that were hiring, and he said they had 300 applications, but nobody would come fill out one in the office. It's kind of old school. They don't do everything online. So 300 people didn't know that, and they're fixing to build a brand new area, and they're going to be hiring more. So who knows? Maybe that fortune cookie was right. Like I said, if I made $10, it'd be better than nothing. And so I'm going to go renew my physical Monday, and then I'm going to go over there, and see what's going on. They got truck driving and dispatcher and all kind of other stuff. It's for the county, and I think if you work 5 years, or you can retire at 57, and then you can quit and come back to work if you're a good worker and double dip, he said. But I might just work till I'm 65. Who knows? But I thought, hey, it's pretty cool, and it's not too far from the house, and I don't need a lot. And when they move the new place, it's going to be by the Chinese place that my son thinks has roaches there, so that might not be good. I still had to go over town to get to my Chinese, but I'll just watch my food real careful. Who knows? Maybe I'll find somebody and cook cheap by then. I just thought that was cool, man. These artificial intelligence you put in for these jobs online, and you can't hardly figure out anything, and you never hear anything, and then everybody wants experience. So if you get your foot in the door, maybe. So we'll see. And I said, well, I got this thing going on, October the 20th, I got to go for it. And he said, well, just tell them to put your application on hold. Because, it's a real good thing. And I mentioned the wrestler, Nikita Koloff. And who? But I said, he's got a ministry, and they invited me and all that. And so we'll see, due to my wife. So you never know. I don't believe in all these fortune cookies, but a lot of the fortunes have been, you're going to hear from a mentor, and then boom, and then your finances, whatever it said earlier in this video. And so if I get a job, that'd be like, but I believe it comes from the Lord, not the Chinese cookie people or the Simpsons, wherever they get this stuff at. But I just thought that was pretty cool, You never know. Get bit by a mosquito, go over there, and then all this crazy stuff's going on in the world, like Kentucky. Some guy just started shooting at cars, and my mom told me one of the football players died, and people just going nuts. So we just had to try to survive, man. Try to survive as long as we can. As long as we can. And we'll talk at you later. It's kind of some crazy stuff going on, so it's all good. My daughter, I wanted her to go to church, and she was gonna go. Then they got a birthday party for one of her husband's thing. And I said, well, do you need the kids? What do you mean? I'm taking the kids to it. I said, oh, okay. So the other lady that told me about the church, she said, well, we do this Sunday school, and then we do church, and you sit with us. Okay. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. So I appreciate it. So we'll see what happens, and something, it's kind of nice to have somebody there, even though you're not there or you're there, but you just kind of floating around in cyberspace like you lost your anchor or something. You just kind of floating along, but it's all going to be good. And the Chinese food, they say it's real good, and vitamin A, K, the snow peas. So, and my son gets the sauce. So we'll talk at you later.